What's good, Grizzlies Nation? It's your boy, Parish, Sharkey, to be reported for the Memphis Grizzlies at Bluff City Media. Here with another, and really it's more of a special edition of a post-game bounce, as this ain't specifically after a game, but idea I just thought of to come up. Really want to call it the Plus Game Bounce Plus. Want to do something, especially going to the second half of the season as the games get more real and we get close to the playoff time. So for the rest of the regular season, more so planning to do something around a weekly recap kind of update, especially with me being able to get access as a media member, get inside the locker rooms at the home games. Decided to bring something a little different from my end at least, and kind of just like I said, more of a weekly recap, basically going for the rest of the season as the standards get tighter and everything. So coming off of last week, the Grizzlies did go 3-1. They lost at the Milwaukee Bucks. They won at home the very next night against the San Antonio Spurs. Then they beat the Toronto Raptors on Wednesday night in Toronto. Then, of course, trade deadline, get into that as well. And then the loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder on Saturday back here in Memphis. So they're kicking things off. I'm going to start off with highlights of the week, kind of go through the whole week on what was the big highlights of the whole week. So, of course, starting with the Milwaukee game, and really just kind of, I think it's the first three games, I'm mistaken, Milwaukee, San Antonio, and was it Toronto? Jaren Jackson did score 30-plus points in all three of those games. And Milwaukee, his last three games at Milwaukee. So they played at Milwaukee Sunday. His game at Milwaukee last year, and the year before that, he scored, I want to say he scored 35-plus points in those three games. And last week, I think he had either 35 or 36 or 37, excuse me. So, yeah, Jaren had 3 straight 30-plus point games and had a streak of 9 straight 20-plus point games. So, our only all-star this year, he did all-star things all throughout the last. The Grizzlies now are winners of 10 of the last 12. So, throughout that run, he's been great. He's been steady. He's been there every game, man. Hey, kudos to Jaren. Also, Ja Morant had missed a couple games. He got put out, remember. He got hurt. Shoulder injury right before the Houston game. You know, conspiracies about what's going on behind the scenes, whatever, but he had a shoulder. And he does begin to shoulder tape, or not tape, but iced up on the sideline. So obviously the issue had to pop up. There's some truth that issue did pop back up, but he missed the Houston game. He also missed the Bucks game. He returned against the Spurs, and he played the rest of last week. So he played all three games. He had back-to-back 25-plus point games. He had 25 against San Antonio and 26 against Toronto. So back-to-back games, 25-plus points with Ja Morant in his return from the setback here on the shoulder injury. Those two games They did miss Desmond Bane those two games. He played against Milwaukee, tweaked his ankle/foot. Still was kind of confused on which injury it actually was, but he returned in time for Saturday's game against Oklahoma City, which I'll get to in a second about how they all unfolded and everything. I'm pretty sure y'all seen plenty of stuff. Saw me on Daily Grind earlier today or yesterday, whenever this video drops on Monday morning. So when I did the Daily Grind talking about the OKC game. So we'll get to that when we get to the lowlights of the week. But outside of that, let's get to my first video to show y'all from the locker room. But GG Jackson had double-digit points, and after the Bucks game, he had double-digit points in their last three games last week, including a 27-point outing against the San Antonio Spurs. That included a windmill dunk at the end of the game, and we play his video about his how he felt about getting that windmill at the end of that game.
When Scotty got the standing ovation for the steal, I was going to do it then if he had got it and threw it up. But I don't know. I was like, I can't keep doing the two hands and stuff. You know, they be putting Ja on the highlights and stuff. Maybe next year they can put that on when they call the starting lineup. Put that on the video.
You used to go to the windmill again.
That was nice.
Can I rate it?
I don't know if Jenkins wanted to score there, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
Yep, man. So GG said he wants that windmill to be on the highlights next year. So the opening tip, not the opening tip off, but the opening video, the starting lineup video, essentially the intro video is what it's called. There we go. Intro video for the starting five. Then that's the starting lineup. GG said he wants the windmill. So he always see Ja on there. Said he wants to be part of it too. Got to ask Jalen about that as well, Jalen Wells. So shout out to the guys who asked the question. I think Matt Enfield was the one from WMC Action News 5 asked the one to Gigi And Avery Braxton was the one who was talking and asked the question to Jaden Wells from ABC 24. So shout out to my guys with that. But yeah, that was a fun game. And it was a low light to that game that became a positive throughout the weeks. And I'll talk about that when I get to low lights. There's more of a tweener, but I'm pretty sure y'all probably know what I'm about to talk about with that one. Vince Williams Jr. returned against the Toronto Raptors, and he looked like him more of himself. And of course, he didn't play many minutes and needed that or the Oklahoma City Thunder game. But he proved to be like, we know what he is, the energizer, that guy we need, that dog, that toughness that we was missing in some of these games. It showed up in that one and definitely showed up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, as he was one of the only bright spots of that game. He was a plus 10 in his 15 minutes of play. He helped spearhead a 28-point lead down, cut a 28-point lead down to 12 points before he left out. He looked out tired. So for the people who complaining about him not playing, yeah, you already know what Grizzlies do. They ramp players up. He looked all tired when he left the game. Because he came back in, the game kind of was over after he left anyway. When he left, I think they went back down by 17. It was kind of over from that point. But Vince, man, shout out to him. It was good to see him back, see him bring that energy, him bring that dog. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to talk to him out in the locker room after the game, but it'll give him plenty of opportunities more to talk to him for the rest of the season. And another highlight for the weekend before we get to the lowlights, they had the healthy team for the first time for the essentially a fully healthy team. I guess Marvin Bagley. I get technically Marvin Bagley, he sat on the bench in that game. He came just in time to sit on the bench in the Oklahoma City game, but he was on the injury report because I guess he technically hadn't reported to the team yet. And I think he's nursing the injury. So remember, we got him back in the trade, which I'll get to in a second. But we had a fully healthy roster after the trade, and Vince Williams back. GG just came back, 10 games ago. So we finally had pretty much our rotation for the rest of the season all intact for that game. And that leads right into the lowlights of that game, which Grizzlies lost 125 to 112. Out rebounded, second chance points. They gave up 32 points, second chance points, 21 offensive rebounds. Isaiah Hartenstein just dominated. He had a total of how many rebounds that man had? Isaiah Hartenstein had 14 rebounds, and Aaron Wiggins had 11 rebounds, and he was the one who lit us up from three with 8 3-pointers. So just bad showing against the number 1 seeded team in the West, and it's tough. These big games, they lost to Oklahoma City, I blew out by the Knicks, but I would say this about the team, and I'm more the positive side always in a way. The team seemed they weren't. I ain't gonna say they were out and celebrating, having fun. They went down in the dumps. They went down in the dumps. It was more like we saw what the problem was. We know what we need to do, and we just need to go out and do it. And I got some sights and sounds from the aftermath of that game as well.
You come into the paint one time and hit a motherfucker, next time you come in, they might, be looking at you, get the juke them, get around and get a shot. I feel like it's low-key an intimidation factor. Not to say that, we're scared of guys, but, we're not trying to, get elbowed in the face. Like in the rebound, my Hartenstein, he's throwing us all over the place. We got guys on the floor and all that, so we just bring that same level of physicality. Same like those first 3 games or first 2 games with Houston. Rebounding was a big game because they played physical, so we can just match that level of physicality as well.
Just got to rebound. I feel like, offensively, we got shots that, we normally shoot. When it didn't fall, we took care of the ball for the most part. So it just comes down to that. Just, boxing out and then just continue to play our game and, trusting and believing in the shots we take.
I think just, working hard these next couple of days, being ready for the game versus the Suns versus the Clippers. I think there's so many games that you can't really hang your head too hard on a loss. There's always going to be games that you lose by 20, 30. So it's all about just moving on and getting better.
Yep. So just ended off with Brandon Clark just saying, hey, they got to learn from it and get better. That's what I take from it too. It was just like they just played bad, and when you have your fully healthy team for the first time, in that game, Vince only played 15. I just talked about how he did pretty well in the game. You'll want him to play more, but he's just coming back from the injury. You're going to slow roll him. So in the future matchup, he'll play more. He'll play more in these battles. Jaden Wells and Zach Edey got benched early third quarter, I believe. So rookies, they finally had kind of like that humbling moment in the sense of like they've had a really good rookie seasons with both of them, and they finally just had a moment where they just were messing up, and and I know Taylor Jenkins went on to say he was just trying different things, and he was like, hey, they were messing up, and he finally treated the matchup like it was supposed to be that type of matchup. I think they'll grow from it. I know some people you can argue about them losing confidence, not losing confidence. I did post it on Twitter with Desmond Bain said like he think they're gonna recover. I think they will too. They didn't seem defeated in the locker room after the game either. It was more, hey, just do better. I think. I know we hate to hear that hear that saying because I know as a Titans fan, when Mike Vrabel was the coach, play better, coach better, and I hated it every single week. So I understand it, but I think generally as a team, you kind of saw it was like offensive rebounding was the problem, and the Grizzlies have been a good rebounding team this season. Due to that, that's what makes me think they could recover. Like if you've been a good rebounding team this whole season, then you have that battle where it's just like, oh, that team just destroyed you on the glass, and Oklahoma City ain't even that tall. I think you can. I think you can do better with that. And like Gigi was saying about just like the toughness factor, like you gotta fight back. And it's like Oklahoma City delivered the first blow, and they just didn't battle back, right? So hey, Randy Clark said they got 2 more games left to All-Star break. Go ahead and do what they need to do, take care of business. So we'll see how everything transpires this week, and I'll talk about my predictions for those games coming up in the second as well. But a couple other low lights. One low light that became a positive. The San Antonio game was weird. Why just staying there? I felt like the game was going to get canceled, going to get postponed, something. The fan, and it's good news now because their fan is going to say Doc Holliday reported earlier that their fan is out of the hospital at home resting. So thank God. I want to say I don't know exactly what happened. I want to say maybe cardiac arrest. I don't want to get my medical thing messed up with what happened, but the fan essentially fell out. They had to perform CPR. It was just a scary situation just to see, and being there in person and just witnessing it, it was like, bruh, wow, I know it's not happening right, like here, right now, right in front, right where I'm here in the arena seeing this, and just seeing everything just transpire in that moment. So, but shout out to the medical team for getting right on it, noticing it happened right before tip off, right? I think the fan already been asleep, right? But it's just like, man, just tough situation. Glad the fan's okay. I definitely prayed in that moment, prayed all week pretty much, and just that everything got better. Heard good updates throughout the week that the fan was breathing again, was in the hospital, and now hearing that the fan is out, man. Thank God for that. Just like, yeah, that was great news to hear. So, like I said, that was a low light kind of turned to a positive. So that was kind of like the tweener I was talking about between the highlights and the low lights. And the last low light, which is the same thing, it's kind of a tweener, depending on how you view it. Trade to Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia. It's low light because we didn't get back what we thought we would get back, right? But I think shout out to Zach Kleiman for answering the questions. I didn't make it to that media availability, but shout out to him asking the questions, just saying he took the L, right? He was like, "Hey, trade for Marcus Smart. It hadn't worked out. Tried to trade for certain players, stars. Those players didn't get moved, right? You can try and guess what players are those, but it wasn't transpiring. And for the fact that they had him attached a first round pick to get rid of his contract lets you know what his value was around the league. So he did the best he probably could in the situation. Could he have just gone ahead, stuck it out, waited his guns, wait till the end of the season? Sure. But the best ability is availability. And I don't know. It was just one of the situations where, you want to get a playoff run with him, but that he just said, you know what, he's gonna cut my losses now. Gonna move forward. I got these young queens that I want to play. You want to see Vince, Gigi, Jalen, and we all want to see them play, right? And if we want to see them play, guess what? Marcus Martin is going to be open up. So in order to get there, that's what needs to happen. And we talked about on Anthony Sain's show last week, and just like, yeah, it's a gamble. He's going to play these young guys, but at the end of the day, we're excited about these young guys. We didn't want to include these guys in the trade for their star player. If that's the case, then we got to believe in them. They're going to have to get some playoff experience in order for them to be better down the road. So, unfortunately, that's what's going to have to go down for the Grizzlies. They do. Johnny Davis, he's unsure Jack Lyman did mention he's not sure if he's going to report what they're going to do. You might look into the buyout market, see what players become available. I think Ben Simmons already missed out on him. I'm not a Ben Simmons fan anyway, so I don't, but guess he could help something. But maybe other players that might come up. A player I got my eye on is Bruce Brown. He got traded, I want to say, to the Pelicans in the Brandon Ingram deal. So keep my eye on him. Of course, Chris Middleton is what everybody keeping their eye on. But I'm not sure if what his contract, how big his contract is with the situation with buyout. Also, shout out to Jack LaRavia. He improved. He proved he was an NBA player. I do write notes on the wall for him because GG and Vince surpassed him last year when it boiled down to it. Then Jalen Wells came in this year and surpassed him and became the starter. So you had 3 players playing your position that surpassed you. And although he might be between 3 and 4, Santi Aldama is ahead of him. So you had 4 players, young guys, same age range, same age group, ahead of you in the pecking order. You're gonna be foul. You're not necessarily a foul guy. It's not like he's to blame, but you're the guy who's gonna be lost in the sauce and get what you can get back for him. They end up getting 2 seconds back in this 3-team trade. He got traded to Sacramento. I think he's going 7 points or whatever. In his first game, he had his 7 points when he first got in the game, I want to say, on his first 3 shot attempts. So shout out to Jake. He proved he was an NBA player, and seeing him be in the rotation on the playoff or play-in contention type of team, that's cool to see and good to see that, hey, his first 2 years out, his first year and a half, I was like, I don't know if this man's even an NBA player. And he proved now to be an NBA player, but a rotational player for someone. Grizzlies numbers game, he just fell out. And with his contract expiring this offseason, the writing's pretty much on the wall. So that does it for my highlights and lowlights. To end the show off, like I said, I want to bring a little more positivity to the show before I get to my predictions. So here's some stuff to talk about. We got All-Star Weekend coming up, and this was the last time we got a chance to see or talk to the players because, or the media at home at least. I don't travel. Most of the media don't travel with the team. Some do, but not most. So, last time being able to talk to him, specifically Mike Sadie for News Channel 3, he pretty much asked all these questions. So here's some sound bites for the players who are participating in All-Star Weekend, and even for Ja Morant talking about the players participating in All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Big time. Credit to them, the work they've been putting in this year. For us, it's, those threes, the reason we're in the position we're in now. So, well-deserving. Just please be safe out there.
It'll be real cool. You deserve it. Jaren deserves it, obviously. He's one of our in this position. It'll be real cool to kind of enjoy that, share that moment.
Yeah, it's really dope to see them on the same team. I didn't know if that was promised or anything like that, so to see that happen is great. Helps me out in terms of watching them. I can just watch one team.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. My first game in my NBA career, I won't have to pick up 94 feet, so looking forward to that 1-game break. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, man. Shout out to Zach Eaton, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Jalen Wells once again on there with rookie sophomore or rising stars game for Edie and Wells and All-Star appearance for Jaren. The potential of them to play Sunday is intriguing. Also, it's cool that Wells and Edie got selected to be on the same Rising Stars team as well. So yeah, man, pretty fun, exciting sounds. Just got to kind of break the ice that was after the OKC game. So you get off the disappointment of losing, but you actually try and get some positivity for the players to talk about. Be a little more, talk about a little bit more positive stuff going on that's coming forward. So shout out to those guys again. But before we get there, Grizzlies do have 2 games at the Phoenix Suns and at the LA Clippers. They did defeat the Suns with half the roster gone, 9 players missing on New Year's Eve. Jaren Jackson had 38 points. I think Desmond Bain had 26 or something. So got that battle coming up again at Phoenix. Not sure who's all healthy or not on the Suns side. The Grizzlies, I think, is going to be fully healthy. I haven't got the injury report at the time it's recording yet. So did nobody go out the last game, but never know what happens after the game. But yeah, seems like they're in good position to play against the Suns and Phoenix again. Have a good chance of getting a victory. Suns, I think, are 26-26, so they're in a 9, 10, 11 range. So Big game on both sides. So pretty sure the Grizzlies would be ready. And they also had the Clippers on their back-to-back. And the Grizzlies have been good in the back-to-backs this year. But they are playing this their first trip to the Intuit Dome against the LA Clippers. They did lose to the Clippers in their first matchup in December. That was before Kawhi Leonard returned. Kawhi Leonard is back now. Also, the Grizzlies got their guys back. Vince and Gigi obviously were out for that game. So my prediction, I would say the Grizzlies go 1-1. I would say if they do go, of course we would like them to go 2-0. If they do go 1-1, I prefer the Clippers win. You just fell down 0-2 to the Thunder. You was down 0-3 to the Rockets at one point before you got their first win. I would like to get that win against the Clippers more than even the Suns, right? So I think that, and they have been really good on the second night of a back-to-back. So that would be my prediction. They'll be on a 2-game losing streak and they defeat the Clippers. Of course, we'd love for them to win both of them. I think defeating the Suns and losing the Clippers, they'll be a little down going to the All-Star break. The opposite, at least beating the Clippers, because you beat the Suns, so losing to them, yeah, in the second game in Phoenix after beating them in Phoenix. Now it's hurtful, but you did beat them with like 9 players out. Now you got a fully healthy team. Losing 2 in a row with your fully healthy roster is kind of won't be the best thing either. But in the back-to-back, you can recover from it quickly. Defeat the Clippers team that you eventually lost when they defeated us in Memphis earlier in December. So that'd be my prediction for this week. That does it for, let's say, post-game bounce plus with yours truly. I'd say it'd probably be a weekly thing for the rest of the season, either Monday, Tuesday-ish of the week, depending on the Grizzlies games. If they have a game Monday and Tuesday, I'm either going to do it, drop it for their Sunday or their Wednesday. There are no NFL games no more, so I do some stuff more on Sundays going forward. So, hey, this was a fun one. Till next time, y'all know who I am, Parish Sharkey, the Grizzlies beat reporter for Bluff City Media. Signing off. Until next time. Peace.